If you've ever had the notion or presumption that there has to be some hidden special knowledge about making a profit that only wealthy people have, this is most likely because there is. The wealthiest 1% of people now control more than 40% of the global resources, and this is not by chance. After all, the rich don't believe in coincidence. Even though the possibilities of an ordinary person become a billionaire are thin, we can still handle our cash like one. The reality is that it generally boils down to two precepts: determination and sound financial planning. So here are some money tips that wealthy people don't want you all to know, but we're all going to tell you after all. So grab a pen and paper and get ready to learn, because these concepts will help you get pretty close to your big goals. Before we begin, welcome to Ultimate Luxury. On this channel, we will share knowledge about money and anything luxury. So sit back and give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new, please consider subscribing. Let's get started, shall we? Principle number 1. Your money should be working for you, not the other way around. Normalized wisdom holds that in order to create riches, you must get a high-paying job and work hard. That is true, but if your only source of income is trading time for money, your earning possibilities are defined by the amount of hours you work in a week. The wealthy understand that making money does not always necessitate hard work, and they seize every potential to introduce new streams of earning. Residual income can originate from a range of sources, such as rental property, royalty fees on artistic content, or making investments. You wouldn't need a great deal of money to actually invest, but it's critical to diversify your assets to avoid overexposure to risks. Don't try to anticipate the market by selling when you believe it is at its peak or buying when you believe it's at its lowest point. That strategy is almost certainly going to cost you money. You're preferably better off investing in high-quality stocks and retaining them for the long haul. It's essential to understand that the prices of all of our passive revenue sources. For instance, if you manage several rental units, you may incur maintenance fees that reduce your profit. Similarly, there may be costs involved with your alternative investments when you invest, such as fees for each trade or expense ratios of mutual funds. Keep these as low as possible to optimize your profits. Index funds are an excellent choice for investors looking for a low-cost means of differentiating their investments while earning high returns. Principle number 2. Don't waste money to impress others. Contrary to expectations, most wealthy people do not waste resources attempting to amuse others. Wealth and riches are not a competition. They understand their worth, and most do not see the need to demonstrate financial supremacy. In fact, many wealthy people would not have become rich and powerful if they had spent their hard-earned money on those things to keep up with people like John down the street, who lives in a big mansion and recently purchased a brand luxury sports car. In their 1996 bestseller, The Million Next Door: The Surprising Secrets of America's Wealthy, authors Thomas Stanley and William Danko agree with this statement. In the book, he did mention a couple of important secrets of the world's wealthiest population is living below their means and refusing to accept big spending lifestyle choices. Spending more money to appear wealthy before you are wealthy is a sure way to try and destroy your wealth-building efforts. So ignore the Instagram millionaires and concentrate on what really matters: amassing money in the incoming years. Principle number 3. It's best not to do it alone. Rich people may not always be the most knowledgeable about the financial affairs or making investments, but they recognize value of professional guidance from an expert. While some people may be put off by the expense of employing a fund manager to manage their finances, the affluent understand that with the help of a consultant, their money can grow much faster than if they need to handle it on their own. A financial consultant may be able to recommend investment opportunities and techniques that you hadn't recognized to help you reach your savings objectives faster. However, it is critical that you select a fee-only counsel. Fee-only advisors, unlike fee-based advisors, do not generate income on the investment products they sell you, so there are no potential conflicts of interest. Riches rarely appear overnight, but by being liable with your money, trying to find new and bigger sources of income, and asking for support when needed, you can steadily increase your total value over time. Principle number 4. Have plenty of liquidity. The wealthy ensure that they have enough capital reserves or cash to meet their immediate needs. They keep an emergency savings so that unforeseen circumstances do not destabilize their lives. The fact that wealthy people save money for emergencies is not solely due to their fortune. They have cash on hand because they have self-control to save it. Everybody should aspire to save enough money for 6 to 9 months of expenditure in an emergency fund. However, you are not required to save that much money in one go. You simply must work towards a certain goal with each paycheck. With that in mind, set up a monthly automatic payment from your checking account to your savings account. It should be a monthly goal that is neither too easy nor too difficult to achieve. Principle number 5. You can buy an apartment building even if you're not rich. So let me show you how. Traditionally, investing in real estate has provided the best long-term yields. Rockefeller is a living example of this. Does this sound familiar? There are businesses and investment firms all over the world that can assist you in establishing long-term investment opportunities in apartment and office buildings. Although you will not completely own the assets, you will be able to participate in the action. The best part is that you don't have to be a wealthy man to do this. Industries like diversify require only $500 to get you started, and such firms have assisted wealthy individuals in maintaining their share of the property investment pie without straining their wallets. When beginning out, do take into account such possibilities, because such companies know how to cruise out the market's ups and downs. They've traditionally seen annual returns of 17% to 18%. As a partial owner, you earn profits on rental income and when property prices go up. Principle number 6. Avoid fees at all costs. Expenses can quickly add up and deplete your assets. It is important to prevent accumulating unnecessary fees, whether it is a late fee on credit payment, a foreign service charge from using a debit card abroad, or an overdraft fee on your checking account. As uptight as it may seem, the wealthy are well aware of how inconvenient these expenses can be. They fully comprehend that every fee implies very little money in their pockets, so they prevent them at all costs. Principle number 7. Time is your most valuable currency. When it comes to finances, your most important commodity is unquestionably time. Trading time for money is a losing proposition, particularly as technology eliminates many jobs that do not require a highly qualified human being. For this concept, you must discard any learning you have received about working full-time and in pain for money. If you investigate this option thoroughly, you will discover that hard labor is demanding, but the rewards are insufficient. Consider someone who works in a mine all day, digging the earth, versus someone who works on Wall Street, investing only an hour or two and making a great rate of return. In addition, if you want to choose to manage your money today, you will gradually build your portfolio, and before you know it, $500 has turned into $1,200 by the end of the year. Principle number 8. Growing money. Non-wealthy people believe that discovering the quote-unquote hot stock is the key to becoming wealthy, but wealthy individuals understand that compounding is the key to wealth accumulation. This means that you can accumulate wealth by observing your money grow year after year. An excellent illustration would be to use your employer-sponsored retirement program, then complement it with an individual retirement account (IRA). A target date retirement account is the best alternative in both cases. Long-term investments tied to a potential retirement date. Index funds, as appeared differently in relation to actively managed mutual funds in which the advisor attempts to outperform the market, are the holy grail. You can take the plunge with money you're willing to lose, whether it's $100 or $1,000. Principle number 9. Don't quit until you get the deal. Know what your worth is and adhere to it. Do not undervalue yourself. Make sure you get the finest because you earn it. Most individuals are accustomed to taking the L, but the wealthy will always hold their ground and seek compensation. For instance, do not keep a machine that stopped working on you simply because you purchased it at a reduced rate. The cost of repairs may exceed the purchase cost. You are authorized for a refund or full repair as long as you have not done anything illegal. Principle number 10. Asset location is as important as asset allocation. If you've read something about making an investment or planning for retirement, you've probably come across an asset allocation recommendation. It entails diversifying your finances rather than placing all of your money into a single asset. The wealthy, on the other hand, understand that asset placement is just as important as asset allocation. To put it another way, the wealthy do not keep all of their assets in a specific account, such as a tax-deferred retirement savings account. Instead, they disperse it. Wealthy people also engage in brokerage firms to reduce the impacts of taxes in retirement. Principle number 11. Salary isn't the whole story. Ascending the career ladder will only take you so far. You eventually reach your earning capacity and reach a steady state. The wealthy understand that in order to increase their wealth, they must make their money work for them instead of the other way around. In fact, Robert Kiyosaki, writer of the best-selling financial knowledge book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, based his entire financial philosophy on this principle. The right approach to do this is to generate income from passive rather than active source materials. Dividend-paying securities, investment opportunities, earnings from an industry you do not fully control on a regular basis, and royalties on artistic activity or inventions are examples of passive income investment opportunities. Principle number 12. Savings. You're already on the correct course if you keep track of your finances, whether it's your bank balance or your 401k. The money you make in your 20s and 30s is some of the most precious money you could save. It is suggested to have a weekly cash date. People with a net worth of $10 million or less are often the most unimposing and don't intend to keep up with the Joneses. If you want to become a millionaire, you must be able to live below your means instead of appearing wealthy. Consider this. You can make $1 million but spend $1.2 million. You're no more superior than somebody who makes $40,000 but ends up spending $42,000. An eagerness to self-educate at even a basic level is another distinctive feature of people who are more likely to generate wealth satisfactorily. Even wealthy people will pay attention to small alterations that can save them money. Principle number 13. Understand value over cost. While it is prevalent for intermediate households to cut costs in order to make ends meet, the outcomes are often disappointing. There is no need to sacrifice value. The wealthy are aware of this. The wealthy prioritize value over price, but they make sensible choices. They surround themselves with people who can help them optimize their fortune, especially over successive generations, and they are not afraid of spending money upfront to get these responses. These individuals could be their attorneys, accountants, or advisors. Principle number 14. Use other people's money. The old adage that it takes money to make money may sound like a meaningless phrase used to justify irrational expenditures to the ordinary individuals. It is, however, a prime directive for the wealthy. The key is to use other people's money to boost your own. As previously stated, exchanging time for money is a losing game, especially as technology eliminates many job positions that do not require a highly competent human being. Using funds from banks or shareholders and hiring employees to work for you, on the other hand, is a time-tested equation for accumulating wealth, not to mention the tax laws that favor enterprises. Even if you're raising funds to start a new business or turning real estate for financial gain, depending on other people's money to do the heavy work increases your profit significantly. Of course, it's extremely risky than using your own money. However, as the iconic investor Warren Buffett once said, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Last but not least, principle number 15. Don't pay with credit cards. Credit cards are a good way to improve your credit rating, but if you want to be rich and successful, you should never enjoy living above your means. One way to ensure this is to only spend cash that you have on hand, rather than billing transactions on a credit card and becoming trapped in a loop of high interest fees. Simply put, you don't want to be wealthy if you use a credit card. So there you have it, guys. If you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe to Ultimate Luxury, like, comment, and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on upcoming future videos. See you again soon.